6 things EastEnders needs to do for Max Branning's return. Is Max Branning finally making his way back to Albert Square? Because if the rumours are true, Walford's about to get a whole lot messier. This week, from the 26th to the 30th of May 2025, we're unpacking 6 major things EastEnders absolutely must do if Max Branning returns. And trust me, it's not just about unfinished business. It's about revenge, redemption, and one massive bombshell that could flip the square upside down. From secret affairs to family betrayals and the ghosts of the past that just won't stay buried, Max's homecoming could reignite old flames and open wounds that never really healed. So if you think Walford's been dramatic lately, you haven't seen anything yet. You won't want to miss this. So hit that subscribe button now and join us for all the latest EastEnders, spoilers, drama updates, and exclusive twists every single week. Now, let's get into the 6 crucial storylines we need to see if Max Branning walks back into the Vic. This 1. Introduce him to daughter Annie Carter. After Max left the square, Linda found out she was pregnant, and it was Max's brother, Jack Branning, who ended up delivering baby Annie. At first, Linda's husband Mick Carter said he'd raise Annie as his own, but it wasn't long before Jack figured out the truth. Max is Annie's real dad. Jack decided to keep it quiet and never told Max. Then, when Lauren Branning moved back to Walford, she had a lovely first meeting with little Annie, and she also chose to keep Max in the dark. But let's be real. Once Max lays eyes on Annie, is he really not going to notice? There's no way he's staying in the dark for long. So what happens then? Will Max storm into the Carters' lives demanding to be part of Annie's world? One thing's for sure. Max finding out is only a matter of time, and when he does, it's bound to shake things up in a big way. Second showdown with Cindy Beale, and more. Cindy hasn't exactly made life easy for her future daughter-in-law Lauren. She's blackmailed her into keeping secrets, and that's what pushed Lauren into getting hooked on painkillers. Now, there was a bit of a truce between them when Cindy helped Lauren through childbirth, but since then, Lauren's wanted nothing to do with her. And Cindy? Well, she blames Lauren for Peter Beale turning his back on her. Could we see Max step in and go head-to-head with Cindy over the way she's treated Lauren? Honestly, yeah, we reckon it's on the cards. But here's the twist. Max and Cindy actually have a lot in common. They both share a granddaughter, little Abby Jr. Her dad was the late Stephen Beale. And let's not forget, Cindy and Max are both no strangers to cheating and scheming their way through life. Now, whether we'd want them together as a couple is another question. But let's be honest, we can totally see sparks flying, maybe even mid-argument. 3. Walk eldest daughter Lauren Branning down the aisle. Lauren's got a mountain on her shoulders right now. With her and Peter trying to get their heads around a tough diagnosis for little baby Jimmy, the pressure's really building. She's not just juggling the emotions of being a new mum, she's also navigating a fragile relationship with Peter, and let's face it, the Beales aren't exactly the easiest lot to lean on. With all that going on, the idea of Max coming back and being by her side could be the bit of strength she's been missing. Whether things between her and Peter are steady or rocky, having her dad around could make a huge difference, especially if he shows up just in time to walk her down the aisle. Now, imagine that moment. Not for the drama, but for what it means. Max stepping in, not as the usual whirlwind of chaos, but as a proper dad, there to stand by Lauren, be there for his grandsons, and put family first for once. It's been a long time since Lauren had someone from the Branning side truly in her corner, and with everything she's going through, she deserves it. Right now, she's surrounded by Beales, left, right, and centre. It's about time someone from her side turned up to even the balance and give her the kind of support she's badly needed for a long while. 4. build up the Branning clan. There might be a fair few Brannings still knocking about, like Jack, Lauren and Penny, but let's be honest, the family doesn't feel as close as it once did. Since Sonia Fowler and Bianca Jackson moved on, that tight-knit Branning vibe has properly fizzled out. Now that Lauren and Peter are living in Dot's old house, they're doing their bit to keep that legacy going. But wouldn't it make sense to fill it with more Brannings? Max coming back could be just the thing to shake things up, especially for Jack. Jack was always seen as the more level-headed one compared to Max, but he hasn't exactly been holding things together while Max has been gone. Maybe it's time for Max to swoop back in and pull the family back into shape. 5. Reflect on his messy history and catch up on local gossip. With Stacey set to leave later this year, it'd be a proper missed chance if she and Max didn't bump into each other before she goes. And no, we're not saying we want another round of their messy affair, but there's something about the connection between Max and Stacey that's just always worth watching. Even when there's nothing romantic going on, there's a real warmth and history between them that makes their scenes feel genuine. Max definitely needs to cross paths with some of his old rivals too. Imagine him coming face to face with Phil Mitchell or Ian Beale again. And seeing as Max is about to become Ian's in-law, that's a family dynamic with loads of potential for fireworks. Then there's Callum, who might have a few things to say if Max has left Abby Jr. with her great-aunt Rainey. On top of all that, Max has a lot of catching up to do, including the bombshell that Jack had a fling with Stacey as well. What we really want is to see Max right back in the thick of things, mixing with the locals and digging up all the gossip he's missed. 6. Learn from some of his mistakes. Let's be honest, no one's expecting Max to come back as some squeaky clean, totally changed bloke. That just wouldn't be him. But what we don't need is him throwing himself into yet another messy love triangle the second he sets foot in Walford. He's done enough damage on that front over the years. Even Lauren had to deal with the fallout after finding him in bed with her best mate over in New Zealand. And that's a line no dad should ever cross. It'd actually be a breath of fresh air to see Max ease off the charm for once. He's had his fair share of genuine relationships in the past. It's not like he's completely incapable of commitment. So how about he either puts some effort into building something real this time, or just keeps himself out of the dating game altogether for a bit? Walford's got enough chaos without Max turning every doorstep into a battlefield of exes. That's not to say we want Max to lose all his edge. Far from it. He's always been one of those characters that stirs things up, and that's what makes him interesting. But a slower burn this time round, maybe focusing on family or even personal growth, would give him a bit more depth. Then, when the old Max does resurface, and let's face it, he will, it'll have more impact. A little patience could go a long way. And there you have it. 6 things EastEnders really needs to get right if Max Branning is heading back to the square. Whether he's setting the record straight, rebuilding broken bonds, or just stirring the pot like only Max can, one thing's for sure. His return's got the potential to flip everything on its head. What do you reckon? Will Max come back as the same old troublemaker? Or has he still got a few surprises up his sleeve? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your theories. And if you don't want to miss any of the drama heading to Albert Square, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and tap the bell so you're always one step ahead on all things EastEnders. Cheers for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Same time, same place, and hopefully with a bit more Branning-sized chaos.